How long do you mean to keep this up? What is it you imagine I've done? Enough, enough, I say. It's over then. I sold maps and rations to the Empire. It was I. I meant no harm. I only wanted the coin. The whalers are good, strong. I was proud to join their ranks. I am proud. But they do not provide. They preach justice, honor, duty. But in the end, it is those with money who do as they will, who live as they will. So I saw an opportunity to change my fortunes and to hook it. All I've done for money, and endangered myself, my home, everything and everyone I love. Why? My actions have put your life in danger too. Though you do not yet realize how much. Bloody idiot. Did you imagine that you had cornered me? It is not I who is cornered. Garlands, I've worked a your bastard. Permit me a question, if you will. Are all adventurers so deluded as to believe they can challenge the power of Garlemald? You would need a veritable mountain of guilt to fund such an endeavor. Such is the cost of fighting great power, or of making it, or of remaking it as you will in Ilgridania. So that's the way of it. Swapped your hard bunk at the barracks for a feather bed in Garlemald, did ya? You there, you stand here on Holbusk's wish, no? Then you don't stand alone. Impossible. How did you best the Empire, Earth's finest, and with bandits and archers at your side? They are your sworn enemies. Why do they fight with you and not against you? But I know the answer only too well. Buscaron. This is his doing. His words are wont to inspire men to act better a man than I. Gods, what have I become? What have I done? I I am sorry. No more will I pursue this folly. No more lies. No more bribes. I will go to the Order of the Twin Nether and confess my crimes. There is something I would like you to tell Boscaron. Tell him Laurentius the Fool says thank you. I feel as though a veil has been lifted from before my eyes. What? Well, okay. That was underwhelming. Enthusiast confessed to his crime. I just had word with the twin nether. Seems he marched straight into the nest and gave himself up. The lad's had quite a life, you know. His mother was killed by a brain and when he was only small. As a young man, he joined the whalers, hoping to spare his fellow Gridanians the misery he'd known growing up. Trouble is, protecting Gridanians too big a job for one man, and he came to believe that he couldn't make a difference, that it was hopeless. There are few things more dangerous than desperation, and a man lost in the dark is easily drawn to the glimmer of coin. I reckon he thought that if he couldn't change the lot with his fellow men, he might as well change his own. Thing is, he was making a difference, just not on his own. Somehow he'd failed to grasp one simple truth, that those things we cannot do alone we must do together. Huh? He asked you to thank me, did he? Then there's good in him yet. I just hope them and the others nest are able to see it. What he's done ain't easy to forgive, but I'd like to think he'd be afforded just to make amends. But let us leave fates to the 12. I have other news for you, Joseph. The ill-felt elder has been found. Into the beast's maw. It's taken us a fair old while, but we finally got our hands on some reliable information concerning the whereabouts of your missing green friend. His name is Frixie, and he is the eldest among the Sylphs of Little Solace. Long as he represented this kind in dialogue with the Gridanians. Yes, he's like a bridge between us and them, a small leafy green bridge that we can't find at the moment, and bridges are no use if you don't know where they are. That's why it's so important that we find him. There's an abandoned dungeon called the Thousand Moss of Totorak here in a soft shroud. It was by the entrance to the place that Frixie was in, and not long ago neither. If you hurry, I reckon you'll find them. Walking ones, please help this one. This one needs help. Needs help to help Elder One. Poor Frixie, poor Frixie. Whoa, hold your jokabus. Take a deep breath and tell us what's wrong, nice and slow. Elder One went into Totorak, but has not returned. This one is worried, so very worried. And you're right to be. The place fair crawls with nasties waiting to make a meal of anyone aft enough to wander in. What in the devil else was he thinking entering that bloody death trap? Elder One had no choice. Imperial Ones were chasing Elder One. Please, Walking Ones must help Elder One. Help Elder One now. The fates conspire against us. Forgive my pragmatism, but Frixie is our best hope of reaching an accord with the Sylphs. Are we to lose them? All our efforts thus far will have been for naught. I will tend to our wounds. Ida, make haste to the other's nest and request assistance. Understood. Joseph, go to the Thousand Moss of Totorak and see that Frixie comes to no harm. Peace between men and Sylph rests upon your success. By order of the Elder Seats here, the dungeon known as the Thousand Maws of Uturek has been placed under the control of... What? The Sylph Elder is inside? And you are sure of this? How in the seven hells did he manage to sneak by? God struck me down for a pure blind fool. You must find the Sylph Elder before he falls prey to the fiends within. Interest to the Toturek is ordinarily restricted, but these are exceptional all circumstances. Pray assemble a rescue party and enter as soon as you are ready. First Spear Riddle, Tutorek Expedition Notes 1. Dangerous fauna encountered upon entering cave. Calling as permission parameters. Expect to encounter more as we press. First Spear Riddle. .orec Expedition Notes 2. Engage with visible fiends. Succeed in exterminating but casualties mounting. Must consider turning back if situation worsens. First Spear Riddle, Totorak Expedition Notes 3. Determined infestation confirmed. Scores of X on verge of hatching beyond our means to deal with. Aborting mission. Subsequent parties beware. O personagem mais cheio de estilo. Como é que está com a cara? E depois trabalha a fazer a cara do personagem. E a armadura que eu estou a usar está para a cara.
Darkness.
Desculpa, mas é muita organização para esse destes gajos. Eles chamam-se da Calculation of 13. É um novo.
Elko,
That
Hitra,
is slayer
Bublo,
of the fleet and
Has.
smile to me.
Seize that on Rajiador, Thagon Welhog, Torsan Opak. Mayhap I might if I deign to speak in my guest crude tongue. We meet at last.
Eu gosto para este shot.
I am Lahabrea of the Asians, servant to the one true
As
God.
paredes fazem com que pareça que ele tem asas. Vilões principais, para
Yours is
ser
a
sincero,
most
este é o que eu menos
fantastical
gosto.
tale,
Toda a história de facto.
truly absorbing.
Apesar de que, porque tu só entendes as motivações dele, basicamente 3 jogos depois. Ou seja, tipo, neste início tu Ele é só mau porque é mau. Só entende as motivações muito lá à frente. E aí o personagem já morreu há muito. Por isso. Obviamente sim, quando tu já vês a história uma segunda vez é diferente. Mas quando vês a primeira vez ele é muito. É mau.
It is a tale to tell Eorzea's children before bedtime. And it will soon be dark, bringer of light.
Esse cara. Qual era o outro?
The Dark Minions.
All that stands between this world and darkness is an irksome anomaly in the ether. The echo. Yes. Yours is a most fascinating tale. Alas, like all good tales, it must needs come to an end. But fear not.
Here, feel the presence of evil.
Por exemplo, o diálogo também
For
aqui
the
nesta
end
altura
of
do
your
final
tale
fica
is
pensando,
but the beginning of
the
another.
presence of
The
evil.
tale of the crystal's demise.
Quando, tipo... aqui este grupo de vilões é mesmo, eles são maus porque são maus e os criadores ainda não sabiam bem o que fazer com eles. Depois é que... Mas faz sentido porque é que ela diz isso, porque a pessoa que está a dizer estas vozes no final dá o plot twist que ela manipulou o protagonista desde o início da história. Mas a maneira como ela solta o spiel da presence of evil tipo, parece a cena mais clichê possível. As partes que acontecem nesta parte da história, há cenas muito boas, mas é também quiseram muito mais. Everybody talk that music. Música de Final Fantasy. Finally, fresh air. I have not so fresh, but better than before. Ah, Sinister One is gone. This one can leave this awful place. Did walking one vanquish the many-legged one? This one is grateful to walking one. This one is called Frixio, eldest of these ones of little solace. Ai, dor de cabeça. E eu não entendo qual é a cena de todos os protagonistas de Final Fantasy têm dores de cabeça. Se tu reparares, é uma tendência. Todos os protagonistas de Final Fantasy têm dores de cabeça. Alpha Squad reporting, sir. Nothing of note at Larkskull, sir. Understood. Return to Area 12. Demeral, where is that accursed icon hiding? Outside of our western friend? I'm afraid not, my lord. Shall I order the search perimeter to be expanded? Absolutely not. We risk alerting the Gridanians to our presence. His Excellency bid us avoid unnecessary confrontation. Loath though I am to admit it, I have found no evidence to suggest that Ramu will be gracing the mortal realm in the near future. I ask you, what good is a god who does not grant one's wishes? Were I a sylph, I should strongly consider finding myself another idol. Which reminds me, what of the sylphs we captured? A handful of them seemed to be in reasonable good health when last I looked. Apologies, my lord. I feel we may have been overzealous in our efforts to compel them to summon their icon. Really, Centurion? Were you not aware that vegetables bruise easily? It is well that I do not entrust you with the important task of making my dinner. Well, mayhap it was a kindness. Better dead in truth than dead in to one's own god, I suppose, if you believe in such things. Por exemplo, é o que eu digo, o diálogo, há momentos que é muito bom e há momentos em que não é. É que é um pouco podre. Por exemplo, aqui mataram uma pessoa porque queriam informações e queriam livrá-la dos deuses em que ela estava. Essa pessoa morreu e o mal do jogo diz it's important to die for your own wishes, not for some god's wishes, if you believe in such things. É diálogo credível. Só que depois tu tens diálogos que são super dramáticos nesta parte da história, que às vezes não é lá muito bom. Dawn is upon us. Make ready to withdraw. Season. Useless. We are so close to completion, I can fair taste it, but at this rate, no, I must be patient. Our efforts will bear fruit in due time. What was it you always said? Ah, yes, though it mean bringing down the very heavens, who shall challenge the limits of possibility if not we? In that alone you were right, Garland. But your star is long fallen, while mine doth begin to rise. And it shall burn so bright that Lord Van Balzer's ultimate weapon will seem a mere candle beside it. Piggy para voice actor. Those walking ones did for Noxia. This one is certain of it. This one fears that other take and ones also suffer the same fate. This one is convinced. Walking ones have black hearts, seek only to harm these ones. Walking ones are not to be trusted. Now, Noraxia, do not pass judgment too hastily. Not all walking ones are alike. Though there are evil ones among the walking ones, there are good ones also. Já passou da cabeça. Does walking one feel unwell? Each one would know what brings walking one to this place. Came to this one's rescue at Noraxia bidding? Then this one owes walking one a debt of gratitude. Walking one has questions about Lord Ramu? Then this one will provide answers. But first, let these ones quit this lightest place. This one will wait until it assaults us. When walking one is ready, please come and see this one. These ones may speak properly then. This is Then it is settled. Let this one accompany walking one on outside.